Hello and welcome to the webinar. My name is Nick Zulovich, part of the team at Cherokee Media Group. And we thank you for joining us for our session titled Leveraging DMS and Digital Solutions for Dealership Success. It's all featuring Chris Wyndham of Dealer Car Search and Frazer Computing. Before we get into the presentation, a couple quick items to mention. We are recording today's session, so keep watch of your inbox for a message containing a link to it so you can watch it again and share it with your teammates. We encourage questions during our time together today, so you can ask yours by using the chat function here on Zoom, and we'll get to those questions after Chris's presentation. So that's more than enough from me. Let's get straight to our webinar. Leveraging DMS and Digital Solutions. Chris Wyndham, it's all yours, sir.
Thank you so much, Nick. I appreciate that introduction, and I'm excited about this opportunity to address our dealer community today. Just before we jump into it briefly, what's the purposes here? For us, is to help educate the dealer community, to equip you with some research that we've been able to get from consumers all across the country, and to show you that we're here to support you after this webinar in ways that we can help your dealership grow based on the information that we've gathered. And I know that when we go through webinars like this, sometimes it can be easily digestible, and other times you can have far more questions that are better addressed outside of this webinar. And we will certainly make way for you to be able to contact me and my teams so we can help you in the future to make these things that you learned today, or things that start generating thought for you today, actually action items for your dealership. We have done significant research, and we know that that can be costly. So we want to share that with the dealer community today, so you have an ability to better meet your consumers right where they are. So let's take a quick look at our agenda. So our agenda for today, and what's the goals of this webinar, is to start setting the stage for how shopper behaviors and expectations have changed from the previous buying generation to the current buying generation. We want to highlight the shopper's journey, kind of decision-making processes that shoppers are going through from the time that they initially engage in research online to the times they actually drive off of a piece with a piece of inventory and purchase, and all of the steps that they follow in between the two. We're going to highlight how a digital technology ecosystem can really benefit your dealership in creating an environment where all of the tools that you are using to run your business, to promote your business, and to sell your inventory are much stronger if it's all linked together in one comprehensive space. And then maximizing your return on your investments. We know that it is key that you get return on your investment, that if you're outlining your two most valuable commodities, one, your money, and two, your time, that you are getting a maximum return on both of those investments. And we believe that we can show that to you in today's webinar, and show you two highly equipped, dedicated partners that stand ready to help you in doing so by introducing you to a Frazer DMS team and the team at Dealer Car Search. Frazer DMS being able to provide the dealer management software for over 20,000 dealerships across the country as the backbone of the operations of their dealership, and Dealer Car Search with nearly 7,000 dealers across the country that they are the digital storefront provider and online lead generator for. So we'll have an opportunity for question and answer at the end of this webinar. So as Nick said, throughout the course of the things that are being presented today, if you have questions, please pop those in the chat. We'll do our best to address those at the end of the call, or excuse me, at the end of the webinar. If we're not able to, we will address them outside of here by reaching out to you personally and sharing that QA with those who are registered today. So let's begin. What started this research for us is we wanted to have a better understanding of the buying public. And what we learned quickly is over 70% of consumers now initiate their auto purchase journey online, with the majority of those buyers wanting to complete the entire purchase online. We know that that is significantly different than buyers in the past, but we know that in today's market, it is changing quickly, and in some cases changed irreversibly to this hands-off purchasing experience that consumers are clamoring for. So what are we going to do in this presentation? We're going to highlight a range of solutions that are designed to significantly enhance how you connect with shoppers who think, act, and experience their buying journey in the hands-off way. Critical shifts in shopper behaviors and expectations. Some of those highlights is information gathering. So we are going to utilize extensive online resources for research and comparisons. What do we mean by that? A shopper is going online, and they oftentimes know more about the specific piece of inventory that they're interested in than you may even know about it at your dealership. Why is that true? They have honed in on a particular piece that they know its background, they know its safety features, they know its options, they know its benefits, they know its insurance ratings, they know it's everything about that piece of inventory because they've honed it in their selection. Where you and your staff have 25, 50, 75, 100 pieces of inventory ever changing on and off of your lot that you know something about, that you can speak intelligently to them. But the shoppers are highly informed because they know a lot about the inventory. So we'll see how we can address a really educated and informed buyer when we're communicating with them. Secondly, what is the shopper's decision-making process? Decisions are largely being pre-made after they've done that extensive research. So they're relying less on the proximity of dealerships to their home or offices and less on word of mouth referral, and really leaning into online research to drive them to the places where they need to make their next purchase. Dealership interactions. What do consumers expect? They expect a seamless online to offline experience, and initial interactions often are digital. They are much further down the buying funnel than previous lookers. They are coming to you in person as a buyer. We all remember those days on a Saturday where we would have multiple families on our lots walking through, looking at multiple pieces of inventory. And when we would ask them that question, what piece of inventory brings you out here today, or what type of vehicle are you needing? They really wouldn't know. They were there to see what you had to offer. They were there to see what might be able to meet their preconceived notions of their family's needs, but they weren't honed in on a specific piece of inventory. They would drive the gas out of 4 or 5 of your cars and then not select any of them. And they would make that dreaded comment at the end about, "We will be back." And we coined the term, the "be back bus never stops here," knowing that if they left the dealership, they were likely to never return to make a purchase. But when consumers are on our dealerships these days, they are far more than lookers. They are actual buyers. If the inventory that they've already researched looks, feels, and drives like they expected it to from their online research, they are quick to make a buying decision. The research shows that consumers are only visiting 1.1 dealerships for every purchase, which means it is far more rare that they leave the dealership to purchase elsewhere than it is purchasing from the first interaction that they have. What is their expectations? They expect customization, and they expect that to come in available inventory. Not just the inventory that's available in their neighborhood, but they will cast as wide a net as they need to find the specific pieces of inventory that meets their wants and needs. So how we engage them to keep them coming to us and not going elsewhere, we have some very practical, actionable items for you later in this presentation. What's their expectations around pricing and negotiation? They expect to have access to online pricing information, and it empowers them. So they expect from you, the dealer, a transparent and fair pricing model that's easily displayed on your website. They do not desire lengthy in-person negotiations, making it all the more important to know that they can go to multiple different sources, search for values by VIN in the market so they have an idea of a vehicle's worth, and they expect to see something in that range on your website, on your digital storefront, or they will just skip over that piece of inventory and go to another dealer. So the shopper journey. The shopper is asking him or herself a lot of different questions before they ever meet you. And one of that is, what are these micro moments that they are going through prior to engaging with you, the dealer? One is awareness. They're doing research to find out which type of vehicle is best for them. And then they're making the considerations. Are the pieces of inventory that I've specifically found, are they right for me? Are they the right mileage, the right color, the right options, the right price points, now that they've narrowed it down to a range of makes and models and trims? Then the financial assessment. They're asking themselves that question of, can I afford this piece of inventory before I ever reach out to the dealer? And then the dealer interactions. Where should I buy the vehicle I've identified as best for me and my needs? And then decision making. Everybody wants a deal, but the method by which they go about getting the best deal possible isn't sitting across the desk from us anymore and negotiating tooth and nail down to a price that we all agree upon. It's online research where they are making decisions prior to ever seeing the inventory based on price. So awareness. As that consumer is thinking in their mind and actioning online to decide which car is best for them, they've identified to us a pain point that they are trying to solve, but they've also identified a pain point that they're experiencing through that research. And one of those is information overload. Shoppers are often overwhelmed by the vast amount of information that is available to them online, and they make it challenging for them to make informed decisions. So they desire a ton of information. They desire transparency, but I call this the paralysis by analysis phase. So what can we do as a dealer community and those who service the dealer community? What can we do to help meet that shopper, take that information and make it actionable and not something that paralyzes and slows down their buying decision? One is, if the dealership has really good digital marketing, targeted advertising. And what does that mean? Leveraging digital marketing strategies so you can present tailored ads to consumers who in the which car is best to buy phase by highlighting unique selling points of your inventory. So knowing that shoppers are on your website and knowing that used auto, pre-owned auto are often commodities. There are many of them made in mass. So there are a lot of similar vehicles out there in the market. How can you make your inventory stand out to that shopper so they are honing in no longer on a generalized make and model, but your specific piece of inventory? A digital marketing solution enables you to be able to market the vehicles that they're most interested in a way that will make it actionable for them. So how do we do that practically? Digital storefronts. That can sometimes be synonymous with websites, but it's far more than just a website. A website is a picture of your inventory. A website is multiple pages where a consumer can go to get information about your dealership, your offerings, your best practices, most importantly, all of the inventory that you have to offer. It is all of those things, but these consumers are expecting it to be a living, breathing website, digital storefront that they can interact with. So having a user-friendly interface is key for your dealership. So it provides shoppers with detailed information, comparisons, and reviews to determine which car is best. So when you're highlighting all of your inventory on your search results pages and your vehicle detail pages, that you're accentuating the things that make that vehicle the most valuable. Its options, its features, its mileage, its condition. And then third-party reports like consumer reports that you can link to or have within your digital storefront that affirms a third-party recommendation of why this is the vehicle to buy, building trust in your dealership and trust in that consumer that that particular piece of inventory is the right one for them to buy. Interactive content is virtual tours, videos. They can bring vehicles to life online for a consumer, and it's offering a comprehensive view, and it fosters confidence in their buying decision. I remember the days 10 or 15 years ago when me personally and our teams were trying to convince dealers of the importance to go out to take 24 to 60 pictures of their inventory, inside and out, all of its benefits, all of its flaws, everything, just a transparent view. So when the consumer got to your dealership, they would be excited about the purchase, that they were making a mental decision to buy with every photo that they clicked on. And while photos are no less important than they were even 10 or 15 years ago, there's additional things that we can do to engage shoppers now to help them make buying decisions and select your dealership with virtual tours, with videos, any amount of content that keeps them honed in on your pieces of inventory and buying from you and not shopping your competitors. A DMS, a digital dealer management system. It provides insightful data for you about your inventory. It enables you to showcase the best suited cars based on availability, popularity, and consumer needs. You can track what vehicles are selling most quickly off of your lot and for the most amount of profit. So when you're making your buying decisions to stock your inventory, you'll know the things that are performing best for you and the consumers who are finding you. It helps streamline your processes. It makes you more effective in managing your sales teams, your service departments, if you have them, and your inventory, so you can present the most appealing options out there to consumers who have more information in front of them than they can digest at times. And our goal is to get them to hone in on the pieces of inventory that make you the most amounts of profit. So the benefit about knowing this about the consumer and knowing how a digital marketing campaign, having an interactive digital storefront website, and having a DMS as the backbone, the benefit to you is it's elevating your online presence. It's helping you tailor your marketing efforts so you can re-engage those shoppers who have come to your website looking at particular pieces of inventory to draw them back so that they come and visit you in person, or they engage in making purchases online without ever coming to your dealership because you're inviting them back to look at previously viewed inventory. The next is the consideration that the shopper has. Once they've seen all of these things, they've started evaluating, they're getting more comfortable, they're moving down that buying funnel. There's another pain point that becomes apparent to them, and that's the lack of personalization and customization. So modern shoppers are seeking a personalized experience and the ability to customize their vehicles, meaning that they can buy from anywhere in the used market. They will cast a net as wide as they need to find the specific piece of inventory they're looking for. They're less and less willing to settle for things that are available close to them, and they're willing to travel to get exactly what they want. And a lack of those options in their backyard can be a deterrent. But one of the things I want to pause right here and make us really aware as the dealer community is oftentimes you do have the piece of inventory that a consumer needs, and they are leaving the proximity you're in because they simply weren't able to find it easily online, and a dealer outside of the market of that consumer is benefiting by having a better strategy. So one of the ways that the dealers can use their solutions is to look at ways that they can email campaign and communicate with shoppers who have come to their site and identified themselves through lead capture pages or purchased from you previously, is to have personalized email campaigns back to them that's tailored based on their shopping behavior, showing them relevant information about the inventory that they're honing in on to keep in front of them your dealership and your offerings to stop their research and begin their buying process from you directly. Timely follow-ups are key. The biggest loss of revenue for dealers these days is not theft. It's not cost of repair. It's the slow response to the leads that are coming into your dealership. If you wonder how to maximize your profitability, it is to respond immediately and effectively to consumers who are engaging you via the phone, walk-up, or on your website. Having automated hands-free email or texting responses when consumers engage your website, even after hours at your dealership, lets them know that they are important to you. It lets them know that you want to speak to them directly. So using technology to be able to reply immediately keeps them engaged with your dealership and your website, and doesn't encourage them to go back into that research phase. When they're on your digital storefront, when they're on your website, one of the most powerful things you have is a search results page. You've got a large amount of inventory. And in the previous generation of shoppers, we want to show all of our inventory all the time. We still want to do that, but we want to give the consumer the ability to narrow down your inventory to the specific types of vehicle that interests them most. So offering a personalized online experience, showcasing cars based on individual preferences and needs. The shopper that's in need of a van might buy a small to medium-sized SUV, but they're certainly not going to buy a convertible or a compact car. So allow them to search by quick and easily narrowing down your inventory to the things that they will actually invest their money in. Customize the experience on your websites by giving personalized content and recommendations based on their behavior and preferences, helping customers visualize whether their car aligns with their needs. What is the best way to do that? You can have comparative tools on your website. Many websites, and the best websites, as consumers are looking at 4 or 5 pieces of inventory, can select to have that as a comparison against other pieces of inventory. So I've looked at 10, these 3 interest me, and now I can go down and look at those 3 pieces of inventory side by side. They do the very same things when they're on your lot. They take a look at all of your cars visually. They may even test drive a few. but they pull them out of the row and they start narrowing down your whole inventory into one or two items that they may purchase when they're in person with you. That's how the previous generation shopped almost exclusively. This generation is doing the same things online. They are clicking through all of your inventory, narrowing down to one or two pieces that will meet their need, and they would like to do a side-by-side comparison before they ever show up at your dealership. That's an easy tool that you can provide through your website that will help consumers narrow themselves down and hone in on a piece of inventory that they are willing to purchase. Digital retailing, online financing options. That consumer is starting to get in their mind, can I afford this inventory that I've narrowed down? And what they're expecting is your help with them making that decision. By presenting a variety of financing options and calculators on your website, digital retailing helps consumers assess affordability and find a suitable payment plan for themselves. There's always been two types of shoppers: the out-the-door shopper, the one that's only concerned with what is the total price after tax, title, license, and fees on this piece of inventory. They're not really concerned about the month-to-month payment because either they're in a position to be able to afford it regardless of the term, or they are a cash buyer. This is a high credit buyer, one who is looking for what meets their need while getting a good deal is paramount to them. They have no concerns about their ability to purchase from a financial perspective, but they do want to know what is the out-the-door price on the vehicle. But there's a majority of shoppers out there that are not just purchasing on the out-the-door price, they're purchasing on their monthly affordability. How much vehicle can I afford based on my income, based on my other expenses? So what these consumers are expecting is you to help them make that decision by offering payment calculators and digital retailing options right there on your website so they can pre-qualify themselves. They do not have the time, nor do they desire to go in, get emotionally attached to a piece of inventory to find out that they are not financially able to buy it. It creates that exchange between you and them that is awkward and sometimes uncomfortable. And many times that consumer will put that negative feelings based on your dealership and not realizing it's just the reality of finance. So being able to get out in front of that on your website will bring more qualified buyers to your doorsteps. Trade-in evaluations. Less and less of these consumers want to sell their vehicle on their own. They want to trade it in for an easy transaction or sell it to you directly, whether they make a purchase from you or not. So trade-in evaluations. Offer online evaluation tools so the consumer can have an idea of a range that their vehicle might be worth when they bring it to you for trade-in. We've also seen that dealers are having successes by being able to market on their inventory that they're willing to buy vehicles from consumers, whether that consumer is in the market for a piece of their inventory or not. We know that one of the realities that still exists in our vertical is that it can be hard for dealers to acquire inventory through standard auctions or online auctions alone. They can't fill up their dealerships. So they're reaching out to consumers saying, you can sell a car to us. We'll give you a fair on-the-spot price. So it's easy for the consumer to be able to sell you their vehicle so then you can in turn and sell it to the next person for profit. So not only are those tools valuable for trade-in, but they're also valuable for helping you to be able to purchase inventory to stock your lots. The benefit to the dealer is you are now tailoring your experiences to the customer satisfaction, and you're going to increase your conversion rates of those leads that are coming into your dealership to actual customers who make a purchase. That financial assessment that those tools help them get to is at that can I afford it stage all in. And one of the pain points that they see is that they express to us through the research that they have frequent frustrations with the lack of a clear and transparent pricing and financing options. And it leads them to distrust the dealership before they ever even engage with you in person. So again, online financing solutions, key, customizable payment plans that will help the consumer know that you are truly trying to meet their needs. So listing the places where you can secure financing for them, the rates on each vehicle that you feel comfortable you can secure based on different credit ratings, and those trade-in valuations so they know what the total purchase is going to cost them minus their trade. A DMS is key into helping you do this for your dealership. It can be daunting to think about doing all of these things manually in all the places where your inventory exists. But by having a dealer management system, you can ensure that you have accurate pricing that is displaying not only in your back-end tools, on your front-end facing website, but on all of those other third-party sites where you are sending your inventory to be able to gain consumers. Financing application integration. There are two forms that exist within a website that consumers are most commonly clicking and filling out to submit leads to dealerships. The first is a credit application. They want to know their credit worthiness before they ever come and engage you face-to-face. Remember, 70% of consumers are looking for as hands-off experience as possible in their purchase, so they are willing and able and encouraged to fill out credit applications on that specific vehicle before they ever visit your lot. So ensuring that you have that available to them is key. The second is a texting feature. So credit applications and texting features. More and more consumers want to engage via text and less by phone. Text and email, there's even been a resurgence in email communication simply because consumers are busy. They are shopping at all hours of the night, and they're not readily available at the times where picking up a phone makes sense. So they want to communicate with you and your dealership via text and email whenever possible. So making sure that you have a good, easy to fill out credit application and tools of communication like texting and email available through your website will ensure that as they're making that decision of whether or not they can afford your piece of inventory, that they can engage you in a trusted and comfortable way. The benefit to the dealer is we are building that trust from transparency, we're fostering customer loyalty, and we're enhancing one of the most important things to us, which is our brand's reputation, our dealership's reputation. Dealership interactions. Where should I buy? Now that they've honed these things down, they're making the decisions to actually either get up off their couch or get out from behind their computer to meet you, or they're making the decision to go ahead and complete the purchase entirely online, but they're now at that click to buy stage or the visit to buy stage. SEO is essential for your dealership to be meeting these customers. They have a pain point. They expect a seamless transition from their computer to the driver's seat of the car that they've selected. And SEO is going to be driving more and more of these well-educated buyers back to your website. You can certainly build a user-friendly website. You can certainly go to a lot of different self-help tools to be able to put a beautiful display of your inventory online. But without SEO, without search engine optimization, without search engine marketing, without a consulting partner to come alongside you and make that a digital storefront, it's really just a calling card that no one knows to go to unless you send them there verbally. A well-functioning website is a living, breathing thing that is attracting like a magnet consumers to your dealership that did not know you by name or did not know your existence, other than the fact that your SEO was strong and drew them there. So digital marketing is key, that you have a website provider, a digital storefront provider that is maximizing your search engine optimization. That's a big term for making sure that you are quick and easy to find online. So when buyers are at the point of making those buying decisions, they come to you instead of going elsewhere. Your reputation is highly important because they are learning about you online. They are looking at your reviews. They want to know what previous consumers have, what was their experience with you. And we know that consumers are far more likely to place negative reviews than positive ones. So it's incumbent on you to have tools that will help you monitor your online reputation, help you collect that positive feedback from that sometimes silent majority who love their experiences with you, so that you can amplify those reviews online, building a reputation within your dealership that builds a trust that you are a good provider, that you are where a shopper should come, and they can trust that their experience is going to be first class by dealing with your dealership. Make your website user-friendly. Nobody needs it to be super challenging to find inventory on your website. Consumers want speed. They want to be able to narrow down their searches to the vehicles that interest them the most. So make your website as user-friendly as possible. Have detailed vehicle information. Provide extensive details, images, and videos that engage those shoppers. Your DMS can help you do that with visibility, help you ensure that your website is up to date, all of your classified sites are up to date, everywhere where your inventory is present, that they have the right prices, consistent imagery and messaging, building trust in your dealership across all online platforms. Am I getting a good deal? A good deal for every generation is important, but how the consumer derives whether or not they're getting a good deal is different. In generations past, it was, did I win the argument? Did I get you to meet me in the middle? Did I get you, Mr. or Mrs. Dealer, to agree to the price I suggested? If so, then I got a good deal. Shoppers now are looking online for comparisons to market research to find out whether or not they're getting a good deal, and they almost demand it. The traditional car buying process can be lengthy and cumbersome, with consumers desiring more efficiency and less time spent at the dealership, and having an active online presence will meet that consumer's need and alleviate that pay point. Have that payment calculator clear and easily accessible on every piece of your inventory. Have vehicle evaluator tools throughout your website so they can understand their trade-in value, and they can also do not be hesitant to voice how your pricing is in the market. You do a lot of research before you acquire your inventory to make sure you're getting a good deal. Don't be afraid to share that same information with consumers so they can trust they're getting a good deal from you. And then a very practical step is a product, an offering called a Monroney label. What is a Monroney label? It's the original factory window sticker on a vehicle that makes sure that the consumer is seeing the correct options and packages while emphasizing the advantages of purchasing a pre-owned piece of inventory. You can access those labels through www.monroneylabels.com to learn more. But what it allows you to do as a pre-owned dealer is to get the original factory window sticker to display on that car and to display it online, not only on your dealership or on your showroom floor, but online. So the consumer can see what was the original MSRP on this vehicle 1, 2, 3, or 4 years ago when it came off of the showroom, the manufacturer floor. And instead of relying on VIN decoders alone to tell the consumer what is actually present on that vehicle, you are getting the factory installed options, the factory installed packages. It's just another transparency tool for your dealership and draws consumers to understand that a good deal is often buying a car after that new depreciation has already taken effect. Your digital marketing can engage to let them know when you're doing price discounting. Price Watch, consumers will come to your website, they will see a piece of inventory, but they may leave because they don't think the price particularly fits their budget. But if you have a button on each of your vehicles that's a Price Watch notification that they can click on to be alerted when you lower the price of your vehicle so they can engage it when it gets into their range, it allows you to be proactive. Of course, when you get that customer's information on a particular vehicle and knowing that it's a Price Watch notification that they desire, you know that they like your piece of inventory. They just have a problem with the price. That's one of your controllables. You can reach out and engage through that lead capture tool so you can meet those consumers right where they are financially. Direct email communication. Being able to reach back out to your leads prior to purchase, to re-engage them with your dealership, re-engage them with your website so that research doesn't take them elsewhere. Also by being able to engage your previous buyers, to create an opportunity for you to both resell them an additional car down the road or to be able to get referrals from them from friends who are in the market as well. Speed, transparency, and efficiency of transaction is always going to enhance that customer experience, and it's going to help them answer those questions that our research shows that they are always asking themselves. Which car is best to buy? Is that piece of inventory right for me? Can I afford it? Where should I buy it? And am I getting a good deal? We believe that we can show you how having an effective DMS, digital retailing, digital marketing, and digital storefront ecosystem that answers all of those questions through your dealership will mean that you are communicating with shoppers and meeting their pain points before they even verbally express them to you, because we're watching their behaviors online. How do we maximize that return on your investment? Make sure that at the top end and all things that we are doing, both online and in person, that we have a customer-centric approach. We want to increase your conversion rates to help you do that, to turn leads into actual buyers. We want to enhance the lifetime value of a customer. Yes, you can sell them a piece of inventory one time and make those profits, but we want to help you use digital tools to re-engage that customer, to get them to come back and buy from you not one time, but many times, to get them to voice their pleasure with the experience they had, both shopping and purchasing from you, leading to more referrals for your dealership. We want to make sure that you have great data. So those data decision makers, those that are driven by facts and data and less by emotions, that they have what they need from your dealership and they see you as a trusted source for their next purchase. We want to help you build brand loyalty and help you with your reputation management. We know that you work hard. to deliver quality inventory, to price it correctly, to merchandise it in a way where consumers will come to your dealership, and you work hard to meet their needs. We want to make sure that when you're doing that successfully, that the next buyers know your hard work is not in vain, and that they can trust you and that they can rely on you to come and make their purchases based on the reviews that they see online. And we want to help you with operational efficiency. These can be big, challenging terms. These can be hard things for us to wrap our minds around. So we want to simplify it by saying we want to make it easier for you to run your dealership so you have more time actually growing your business and less time managing it, because you have the tools necessary to engage shoppers, to help buyers, and to re-engage your customers. Frazer DMS is one of those partners that is trusted in our space. It is the largest independent dealer management software available in the market today. It's a comprehensive software that's suited to automate, streamline, and integrate all the various touch points of your dealership. It becomes the central hub by which you can manage dealership. It can help you with your inventory management, your sales process management, post-sales management, financial management, and gives you great reporting and analytics to run your dealership. The team at Frazer always stands ready to serve you at any turn, both through their website and via the phone. Frazer routinely has the highest level of customer satisfaction scores through the customer service team. So you can trust this partner both in helping you to understand what products and services that you need for your dealership and being able to support you post those purchases. And they have partnered with Dealer Car Search. Dealer Car Search is one of the most dominant digital storefronts in our space. They can help you make your website one that consumers want to engage. They can make sure all these tools that we have talked about in this webinar are present on your dealer's website, on your dealership's website, taking a lot of the guesswork out of the equation for you, because these are consultants that have been in the industry for nearly 20 years and have seen the evolution, not only of online marketing, but of consumer behavior. These are high quality websites that they can build for you, interactive websites that they can help you engage your shoppers. They can help you with your digital marketing to make sure more and more eyes are falling on your quality inventory, and that your website is one that engages them and helps them come and realize that your dealership is the place where they need to make a purchase. I wanted to leave plenty of time for QA. I know that is a lot of information and likely drives up more questions than it does answers, but should be a thought-provoking time for us. How do we engage this new buyer that has these high levels of expectations for transparency and information before they ever even speak with us? But to help you with that even further, if you would like a demo of any of the offerings at either Dealer Car Search or Frazer, you can reach out to my team at 888-263-7201. They stand ready to answer that phone to be able to help you. If you tell them that I was on the Chris Wyndham webinar and I have questions, they stand ready to answer those questions for you, and they stand ready with special offerings for those of you who are on the webinar today. The same can be true through the Frazer team. You can find us quickly and easily at dealercarsearch.com or at frazer.com. We would love to help you in engaging this new buying world in the best way possible for your dealership. Nick, I would love to address any questions that may be posed by the audience today. How can we help?
Absolutely. Excellent presentation yet again, Chris. So many moving parts, literally and figuratively, in the automotive digital retailing space. And if you have any questions for Chris Wyndham of Dealer Car Search and Frazer Computing, please just use the chat function here on Zoom, and we'll get to those questions in the time we have remaining. And just to start our segment here, Chris, you did a great job with the descriptions and the imagery in your presentation of that evolving landscape of car shopping, and then the pivotal role that digital solutions play. Just stemming from conversations you've had with clients or speaking with your team who are interacting with clients, what do you see is the specific challenge that's a hurdle to overcome in the adaptation of digital tools that can lead to change at a dealership? To steal your line from the opening segment of your presentation who might still be waiting for that be-back bus to show up and is struggling with the digital component that's in place nowadays.
I think the thing that is common amongst the dealer community is this seems like a lot to bite off at one time. So the thing that we would encourage is that you take steps within your dealership. And our teams can help you realize no matter where you are on the digital evolution in these buying journey for consumers, we can meet you where you are and help you take the next practical steps to ultimately get to a full solution. I know that there's a lot of information, opinions, and data that's coming at dealers from all different directions, and being able to filter and decipher that into practical ways about what should I do at my dealership today to better address consumers is the question that's on everyone's mind. And the way that we've found is if we can just meet with you one-on-one, have that one-on-one conversation about where's your dealership? What are you doing today? What are the goals that you have? We can help you walk through this journey and meet you wherever you are. Nick, I saw a question that came through too about is most of our research based around used inventory or new inventory, and almost exclusively pre-owned inventory, new inventory. We have sought for the last 2 decades to help small to medium-sized independent auto dealers compete in this digital world. And some of that is showing you how to compete when you don't have the exact same marketing dollars as some of the franchise stores or some of those big box conglomerates that have entered our space. How can you do that at your local level and be really effective to do so? So yeah, we are really geared toward that used auto dealer.
Absolutely. And piggybacking off of that the research, does it also run the credit spectrum as well from deep subprime all the way up to super prime?
Yeah, so that's one of the things that we've seen is the differences between a buy here, pay here buyer or a subprime buyer and a retail buyer used to be finances. It was, and it still is, like financial capability to buy is the biggest difference between the two. But what we've seen in these consumers is what they expect online is exactly the same. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, at a buy here, pay here lot, if you simply had something that met their budget, they would take it. Do you have a car that meets my need? I need one right now. I need one for $200 a month. I need one for $1,000 down. What can you put me in? You would walk them out. You would select the vehicle for them. You would bring them in and they would leave with it. But even now, the subprime buyer does not purchase that way. The subprime buyer has so much information marketing to them to show them that they can widen their own nets of selection that they do not even behave the same. So I think that is a phenomenal question. And I hope that those who really focus in on subprime lending or buy here, pay here lots are knowing that this data pertains to you as well. So when you think about putting a transparent price, it may not be your retail price. It may be your monthly price, but consumers are demanding to see that before they'll ever visit you. They want to know the down payment and payment. Whereas at the next place, they may want to know what is the retail price? What is the online internet price? Man, that is, Nick, I am so glad that question was asked, because if we had gotten out of this hour without addressing that, we would have missed a huge consulting opportunity. So thank you for that question to the one who asked. It is for all dealerships, regardless of your emphasis, subprime or otherwise.
Very good. Very good. Well, we thank you for that. And if you do have questions for Chris Wyndham of Dealer Car Search and Frazer Computing, please use the Q&A segments portion here on Zoom. My apologies for the confusion there. Please use the Q&A portion of the platform here on Zoom. A couple more questions have arrived, and full disclosure by yours truly, certainly a Mac loyalist. Have lots of Macintosh, Apple devices as we speak here. The user is interested in using Frazer products on Mac devices. What can you share there about that potential?
Yeah. This is one of those times where I'm so thankful I'm not a party of one. I have a great team behind me that can answer the technical questions even better than I can. I will say that we do know and understand that the experience of accessing the on-prem Frazer application is different on a Mac from a capability standpoint than it is from a personal computer. I would say I'd like to get that person who is asking with our technical support team to talk to them about opportunities that currently exist. I would say that's probably a Frazer dealer who has experienced a pain point at that point at some time and wants to know our evolution. And I think our team would be more than happy to share the roadmap with you on what that looks like. So I would encourage you to go to Frazer.com and go to the support channels, ask that same question, and frankly, you'll get a more astute technical answer than I can give on this webinar.
Sure. And along those lines, if you could reiterate all the ways that dealers of all stripes can get in contact with you, the team, throughout Dealer Car Search and Frazer. If you could repeat that contact information and path to connect.
Absolutely. Yeah. You can engage our teams through our websites, dealercarsearch.com, also at Frazer.com. And then if you would like to speak to a person via the phone, I would start with calling through to that Dealer Car Search team that can help you with both digital storefront and help you with the Frazer offerings at 888-263-7201. I want to make it clear too that Dealer Car Search and Frazer are sister companies now that are underneath the same ownership umbrella and have been for the last 2.5 years. So they're a fully integrated system, partners in being able to meet these dealer needs. So if you engage either one of the two, they'll be able to help you with the full gamut of things that we've shown you today. So you will get a seamless experience, both from a technology standpoint and a customer service standpoint through both of those providers.
Excellent. Again, our expert for today's webinar, Leveraging DMS and Digital Solutions, is Chris Wyndham of Dealer Car Search and Frazer Computing. And just a quick reminder that we are recording today's session. And so please keep watch of your inbox for a message coming as soon as possible containing a link to that recording so you can review the great information that Chris has shared and distributed out amongst your dealership team and colleagues to review what might be best to implement at your store. And Chris, to harken back again to your great presentation, you described the micro moments that happen during a car shopper's journey. If you had to pinpoint one, which might be the key to a dealer's success, which micro moments might be most pivotal that could be the difference between a shopper hitting that submit button versus just closing their laptop or on their phone going back to Instagram and watching dog and cat videos or whatever instead of engaging with the store?
Wow, man, we have to hit them right there in the beginning. So if you want to know what is the first step in the process to be able to engage this consumer, is you have to have a living, breathing, active digital storefront website. And what that means is you need a website that allows you to display your inventory in the way that they need to see it. You may have heard, Nick, before, we talk about this in personal interaction. The same is true in digital interaction. The greatest ability is availability. Are you simply available? Is your inventory simply available for consumers to see? You need that digital storefront. You need it coupled with some SEO efforts. You need it coupled with some search engine marketing efforts. So consumers are finding you initially. One of the great misnomers is that I can have any website provider out there. They're all the same because they can build you a website that looks the same. Nothing could be further from the truth. I by no means want to disparage people who are phenomenal at building websites, but I've seen some high school projects from my kids' school where 15 and 16-year-olds have built beautiful websites. They're phenomenal. And they get them a really good grade, and mom and dad is proud of their abilities, as well they should be. But nobody knows that website exists except the ones they showed it to them. A lot of website providers in our space is the same thing. They can build you a beautiful website, and you and the builder will just pat each other on the back until you're bruised because how beautiful it looks, but nobody knows it exists because it's not out there online being marketed by someone like Dealer Car Search. So consumers are able to see your inventory. So the first step is to make sure you have the right website provider who is partnering with you to get consumers to look at your inventory initially. All the other things are trigger steps thereafter. So all of them are important, but meeting them initially is absolutely key, or none of the other things will ever fall in line.
Very good. Very good. Definitely I understand that principle. If nobody knows it exists, it doesn't matter how pretty or well functioning it might be.
That's right.
Again, our expert here is Chris Wyndham of Dealer Car Search and Frazer Computing. And Chris, one more question that's come in, and perhaps maybe this might be a current dealer client of yours who has joined our session today. Just with as much as you care to share, looking to see what further integration might be happening of Frazer and Dealer Car Search, what might be in the works in the company pipeline to help that integration, to make that user interface even better for your client base.
That's a great question. I can tell you that our roadmaps are full with deeper integrations every day. You know, we started out with inventory integrations, and then we have evolved to having lead integrations. So that integration between the two to have a seamless experience. Our entire development roadmap has some area of emphasis on making sure that you have an integrated solution with Dealer Car Search in particular, and then all of the other quality providers that we know are out there to service your dealership's needs. We've always kind of had this innovate or integrate mentality. So there are many things that we're seeking to build for the dealers every day to meet their needs. That's through innovation, but then it also comes through integration, partnering with others who already do that at really, really high levels. We never imagine that we can be all things to all dealers. So we want to be the hub that they build their dealerships off of. And we will certainly integrate with other providers that can benefit them in areas of their expertise. But specifically, we're going to continue to enhance like customer relationship management integration between Dealer Car Search and Frazer. Even more integrations and seamless. We have real-time APIs now. So whether you're updating your inventory in one spot or the other, it's keeping all of your online presences in sync. So further inventory integrations, further lead integrations, further post-sale integrations on the customer relationship management is coming. There was a comment put in that chat that I thought is so well and so succinct. I wanted to share it with the dealer community. When referencing a website and it says it's not a field of dreams in automotive space, what that means is you can't build it and just assume that they will come. Right. So that writer of the question or comment nailed it. Kevin Costner movie Field of Dreams. We might be dating ourselves for some. If you build it, they will come. Your website, if you build it, you have to invite them daily and consistently, or they will never come. So that was a great analogy. Thank you for the writer in that comment.
Absolutely. And full disclosure, both you and I, Chris, we each have a little salt in the going in our respective looks here. So closing moments with Chris Wyndham of Dealer Car Search and Frazer Computing for our webinar, leveraging DMS and digital solutions. And Chris, just to round us out, maybe just some closing thoughts. Perhaps a dealer might be thinking is like, I don't know what to do. I just know what's happening right now is not working. Just perhaps some initial steps that can get them on the path to the goals that they look to achieve, that they know it's not working, but they don't know what first step to take. So just some ways to round us out.
That's right. Reach out to us and let us do a personal consultation with you. Let us hear from you. Much of this webinar is based on us going out there, engaging consumers, listening to consumers, so we can report back to you the playbook of how you can engage your buyers. A lot of times research in our world is done on what does the dealer tell us that he or she needs, which we want to do that for sure. But we always want to take it one step further. What does the dealer's market need? What do the consumers need? So we can help the dealers meet whatever needs that they have individually. Reach out to us and let us have that personal consultation with you. I can assure you our sales teams are going to the principle of we're not selling, we're helping, right? We want to help you. So we're not going to offer up things to you that aren't appropriate for your dealership. We're not going to try to take you 10 stages beyond the process of where you need to go if you haven't done the first several foundational steps. We want to walk through, just like consumers are going on a journey, a dealer is going on a journey of evolution to meet this market. It can be intimidating if you don't have the right partners, but we want to help demystify that for you. We want to help slow this down for you and let you know that all day, every day, we eat, sleep, and breathe. How do we service you better? How do we make it to where you can be more effective? So engage with us, reach out to us. We want to be a trusted consultant for you. We want to make sure that you have what you need, and we'll always be honest with you. If it's something that is well within our expertise, we're going to make no bones about we can do this for you effectively and well, and we don't think that there's anybody better, and here's why. If it's not something that's in our core competencies, we have tons of connections in the industry where we can draw you to trusted providers to help your research process come from us, who is out there seeing who is doing these things well. So engage with us. Don't hesitate to reach out to us, and let us just personally meet you where you are to see how we can help.
That's Chris Wyndham of Dealer Car Search and Frazer Computing. Chris, definitely a Kevin Costner level performance by you. Thank you so much for the great insights on what is certainly an important topic and subject for dealers to get a hold of to be successful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nick, for your time today, and I appreciate the dealer community for trusting us and listening to us. We look forward to hearing from you.
Absolutely. And on behalf of all of us at Cherokee Media Group, we thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to having you again next time.